Welcome to Homebrew by J.W. Martin Real Estate, where we uncover the true stories of what's brewing in South Carolina's local business scene. I'm Joey Martin, and each week we sit down with the ones who are pushing through the grind. Business owners, creators, and community leaders who have fought through the tough times and come out stronger. No fluff, just real stories, smart insights, and a whole lot of lessons learned the hard way. Let's dive in. Really excited about our guest today. We have Alyssa Franco with us. She's the founder and CEO of The Digital Touch, and that's a Charleston-based digital marketing agency who helps small businesses elevate their online presence through tailored strategies in social media management and branding and web design. Welcome, Melissa, to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Joey. It's my pleasure. I'm so happy to be here.
That's awesome. Just give us a little backstory. It sounds like it wasn't your original plan to have a business of your own, and this just evolved into something bigger than what you originally thought it would. Tell the audience the story about that.
Yeah, definitely was not in the plan originally, but I'm so happy where it wound up. I was a generation where we were told to go to school, go get good grades, go to college, and then go into corporate world. And that was what I had planned on doing. I had planned on being a lawyer and I had gone to law school for a couple of years. And then I realized that just wasn't the thing for me. And then I wound up deciding that I wanted to leave New York and move to Charleston, South Carolina. And I
Yeah.
found myself as a real estate admin, and I loved the job. It was a great community. It really helped integrate me into Charleston life. And I made such great friends and people that really supported me and became family. And I'm thankful for them because they gave me the inspiration to start this business. I started just helping my friends who were realtors who needed guidance with social media or who just weren't tech savvy and couldn't figure out how to work Canva, to really creating full out marketing plans for them and helping them grow their business. And eventually they just said to me, "You're really good at this. You should turn this into a business." And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? It sounds like a really good idea."
That's
And it
awesome.
started out as a side hustle and eventually turned into me being able to take it full time. And I've been doing it now. We just had our 2-year anniversary and of me doing this full time. And I'm so thankful for it every day. It's really changed my life. And I wish I would have done it earlier in my life, but I'm so happy that I'm here now.
It's certainly, as an entrepreneur myself, it's scary to take that step, but it sounds like it was demand based in your case. It sounded like you were needed, and
Uh,
so that's got to be a good feeling. And I tell
yes.
you, the fact that you started with a real estate brokerage, as I'm in real estate, and I have a team of 30 plus agents on my team, and this really hits close to home because I've seen the struggle, and I've lived the
Yeah.
struggle myself. As far as how do I put out consistent material? How do I put out consistent branding material that's not boring or doesn't just blend in with everybody else's? And it's a real challenge, and I'm guilty of not being extremely tech savvy. And I have agents on my team that are, some are much younger, that are like, it's no big deal. They've got stuff posted up in seconds. And for others, it's like a calculus equation, but it just seems like a
Yeah.
nightmare. And so that's really cool that you're able to help with that problem. But not just that, it sounds like you go beyond social media management. You're primarily focused on full digital marketing platforms for not just real estate agents or real estate agencies. You help any business out there create
Yes.
a web presence, correct?
Yes, small businesses, a lot of women-owned businesses, but I do work with a couple of men-owned businesses as well. Basically, my mission is to make sure that you maintain your personal touch in all of your marketing. And a lot of that does take place online because that is the world we live in. But I also want to make sure that you're represented, your personality, all of those things that make your business special are represented on social media, on your website, because your website is your first form of contact for any potential client that you might meet. That's usually the first place they're going to look. They're going to look for you, look you up on Google, And then they're going to go to your website, and then they're going to go to your social media. And that's how they get to know you and get to know whether or not they want to do business with you. So my purpose is to make sure that you have seamless integration and consistency across all of your digital platforms, and that you're showing up consistently for your clients, because that's so important.
I agree. So something that this is a personal struggle of mine that I used to have in the past is that I'd wake up like super motivated one day and I'd be like, I'm putting a post out. And you
Yeah.
think that's gonna like all this business is gonna come running to you because you put a post out and you're like, I didn't get any likes on that, or you get let down. But it's so important. I think that people realize that this stuff has to be done consistently, the branding done consistently, the logos, the messaging. I think that's really cool that you're able to help people with it. And this is stuff that I've learned the hard way myself because, to be quite honest, I was trying to save a buck. I was trying to save a few
Hmm.
dollars, but the amount of time that I was spending trying to put together this perfect ad that I didn't know what to do beyond I just posted it, and now you can boost post or what all can you
Yeah.
do beyond those kind of things, search engine optimization, some of these things that just
Yes.
sound like a foreign language. Can you talk about
Mhm.
that kind of stuff a little bit?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways that you can market yourself nowadays. There's Google ads, there's social media meta ads, there's just boosting your posts. It's usually just to help you get a farther reach. Your regular social media now, there's been so many advances in social media, even just recently. Now, Instagram integrates SEO into its algorithm. So people that aren't following you can view your posts and stuff like that. But I always tell my clients, and it's so important because I understand the struggle. I understand that we're small business owners and we want to save that money, and we don't want to spend it on something that's not going to necessarily return on our investment. And with social media, it is very hard because there isn't a direct ROI with that. It's all about consistency and maintaining that connection and being readily available for your clients. Because if you're not showing up, you're not in the room, and they don't know that you exist. So if you're not posting consistently and they're looking you up, and then they look up at your Instagram profile and you haven't posted for a month, they're going to say, huh, I wonder if Joey's still in real estate. He hasn't posted in a while. Maybe he's not doing this anymore. Or maybe they're doing it part time. Or they're not bringing in that clientele because they're not posting that often. They're not posting their successes. They're not posting their testimonials. And therefore, you lose out on that client. But if you are posting consistently, it also doesn't mean that you're going to get 10,000 likes or 10,000 followers or anything like that either. It just means that when somebody looks you up, they're seeing your consistency and your dedication to your business. And that translates to clients in the long run. It might not be a direct conversion, but it's there. It's just a little bit harder to see.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. And if this is something that just doesn't come natural to you, I can tell you from personal experience. If you're like, for me personally, I'm more of a belly to belly marketer. I'm old school. I'm out at networking events and chamber of commerce stuff. That kind of thing is how I kind of built my business up. And but what you're talking about, putting together a digital brand, was very unnatural for me. And I'm sure there's tons of listeners that it's very unnatural to do and spend a little money and the amount of time that you're going to save. You got to place some value on your time. The amount of time that you save, it's well worth the investment. And that's what I look at it as an investment in your business. It's not just money thrown away. It's an investment. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. I would 100% agree with that. I think that it's just making it more professional. Your business is going to be more professional if you hire a professional who understands the market and understands your business too, because that's my priority as well, is to make sure I understand you and what you want to get across to your clients, and the type of clients you want to attract too, because that's also important. And I think that if you have this professional based marketing, whether that's your website design is on point and it's got this really professional look to it, and your branding is done correctly and all of that, and you're able to showcase your business correctly, that just makes you more appealing to your client. And it also saves you time. That feeling of being overwhelmed and like you don't know where to even begin is so common. I get so many people, clients that come to me and they're like, I fell down the Canva rabbit hole. I went on Canva and I spent 6 hours because I couldn't decide what colors I wanted to use or what fonts I wanted to use. And for me, I'm like, I give you basically all the tools you need. If you work with me and I decide design the brand for you for your business, I give you all of the fonts that you need to use in your marketing materials, all the colors, all of the information, the mark, the markings, the submarks for your brand and for your logo so that you can take those tools and then use them in your other marketing materials, whether that be social media or on your website. It just makes so that you are able to have that uniform look across all of your digital presence.
Another aspect, and this is, I keep going back to real estate and I hate to do that, but in the world of real estate also, there's something about the autonomy of having your own brand. Because if you hang your license, I mean,
Yes.
things change in the real estate world. And oftentimes I'm a real estate broker. Brokerages offer agents their own web page and things like that. That also means they've kind of got you under their thumb. If you ever, if things don't work out, you decide to go to another brokerage or something, that all the time you've spent directing people to that web page has is kind of wasted. And so you got to restart, rebrand, rebuild somewhere else. If you have your own website, that helps you with your own autonomy
Mhm.
and branding. Yeah.
Yes. I tell my clients this all the time and a lot of my agents, they've been with their brokerages for long times and they're like, "Well, I don't think I'm going anywhere." And I was like, "Well," I said, "that's fine." I said, "But it just allows you the autonomy and the feeling of, well, I can take this. I'm not going to lose it if I ever do decide to go somewhere else." And the other thing that's nice is that if you are part of a bigger company or a bigger brokerage, usually those web pages are all designed to look the same. They might change the photo or they might change the backdrop or they might change, the wording on the web page, but they're not designed with your brand in mind. They're usually
Right.
designed with the brokerage's brand in mind,
Yeah.
which we can incorporate in our agent's individual website and make that, kind of so that it is there, but it's also easily removable if they ever decide to leave.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a great point. And talking with you before the podcast here, it sounded like the level of service that you're able to provide, it's a pretty wide spectrum of service that you provide. So it sounds like if you've got someone who is more tech savvy, they could enlist your services on more of a consulting basis and they just put their hands on the keyboard, you got them through. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you got someone who's like, I've got no knowledge of tech whatsoever, and nor do I want to learn it. I just want to turn it right over to you. It sounds like you've got quite a variety of services that you offer.
Yes. Our services are basically everything you could be thinking of for digital marketing. We offer website design packages from just a website refresh to a rushed website in a week, which is our biggest selling package right now is our website in a week. In 7 days, you have a fully functioning website and that's ready to go for you. Mobile optimized, SEO optimized for you. So that's really great. We also offer branding packages for those that are looking for logo designs to complete branding kits that include email signatures and other social media templates, stuff that go along with the brand. We also offer email marketing, which is another really important tool that I tell my clients all the time that I think is way undervalued. Everybody's always talking about social media, but email marketing is where it's at. If you can maintain those connections and form those really unique conversions with your clientele, email marketing is a great tool for you. And it's something that I always think that people forget about. It's, oh, did people really open those? And in reality, email marketing is much more likely to convert into a sale than a social media post will. And
Oh,
then we also offer like the social media packages that was talking about before, which would be either like social media consulting, where I can help you just get started if you don't know where to even begin. And we can talk about like planning out a content calendar for you so that you know where you can begin, to full social media management, which is also something that I offer. But right now, I'm not taking on any clients at the time because I have a full roster for social media
Yeah.
management.
Oversubscribed. That must mean you're really good at
Yeah. Yeah,
it.
it is something that I enjoy doing. It is a little bit more time consuming, which is why I don't take on that many clients at one time for that. Because I want to make sure that my clients are getting the dedication that they deserve for their social media platforms.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Alyssa, I've really enjoyed talking with you and love Charleston. That's where my real estate career started. And so of course in your world, it doesn't have to be hyper local for someone to do business with. You can do business from anywhere, I'm sure.
Yes.
How can the folks in the audience find you?
You guys can find me. I'm at www.thedigitaltouchchs.com. And then I'm also on Instagram at the Digital Touch CHS. That is our Instagram. We're constantly posting because we are a social media business. We're on there all the time. And you can feel free to send me a message directly on Instagram or through the form on my website. And I'd be happy to talk to anybody that's interested in learning more about digital marketing and how that can improve their small business.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I love the message you're putting out there, and I love the fact that it seems like you kind of have a focus on small businesses as well. So certainly love to see that. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Joey. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you having me on here. It was really fun.
Absolutely. Most definitely. That's it for this episode of Homebrew. If it resonated with you or gave you a fresh perspective, share it with someone else who's working hard to make their mark. Subscribe, stay curious, and remember, no matter the challenge, keep pushing forward because success is brewed one step at a time. We'll see you next time. Same place, new story.